Welcome back everyone, it's Valerie from WonderFil Threads, and today I'm going to show you how to use a French knitter. This wonderful little device is easy to use and a great way to make jewelry, crafts, or even rugs and clothing. In this video, I'm going to make a French knit beaded necklace to show an example of what you can do with it. I'll also provide optional instructions on how to add the beads and a tassel to your piece. Let's look at what we'll need. First and foremost, you'll need a French knitter. This is a basic French knitter with 4 prongs, which you can pick up at most craft stores. They usually come with a hook for looping your threads. Next, you'll need a heavyweight thread. I'm using an 8-weight rayon thread called Tassel, which has a strand of metallic running through it to give it a bit of sparkle. If you want beads in your French knit project, I recommend a size 6-0 seed bead, which has a large enough opening to fit an 8-weight thread. You'll also want a needle with an eye large enough for your thread to help load the beads. You'll also need some white glue, a pair of needle nose pliers, and a gold or silver crimp will help you finish off your necklace. I'll also be attaching this tassel as a pendant to my necklace, but you can use any decorative pendant you like. For a tutorial on how to create tassels out of thread, check the link in the description. First, thread your needle with the end of the thread and pick up a few beads at a time on the tip of your needle, letting them slide down towards your spool of thread. The number of beads needed varies according to the length of your necklace and how heavily you want it beaded. So thread more than you think you will need. You can always repackage what is left after your project is complete. Now you're ready to begin French knitting. Pass the unbeaded tail of the thread through the top of your French knitter. Leave some thread unbeaded by letting the beads slide further down towards your spool of thread. Loop the thread behind one pin of the French knitter around to the front and circle back behind the pin. Repeat this around all 4 pins. Now, working one pin at a time, loop the thread behind the pin, circle around the front, and hold back behind as before. But before you move on to the next pin, hook the hook through the first loop on the pin and pull it up over the current loop towards the center of the knitter. Repeat this procedure on the 3 remaining pins. As this thread is silky, this first round will be the most difficult, but if you keep the tail pulled tightly through the center of the knitter, it will be easier to hold the stitches in place on the pins. Work one more circle around the knitter the same. This is where we can begin to bead. Slide one bead up from your spool to sit in between the current pin and the next. Loop the thread around as before, ensuring that the bead stays sitting between the pins. Repeat these steps around the knitter so you have one bead between every 2 pins. You should have 4 beads caught in the circle. Now, wind the thread around all 4 pins without looping around each one. Hold firmly and rotate, using the hook to slide each loop stitch over the wrap stitch. Proceed with another beaded looped circle as before. Alternate between the looped and beaded rows and the wrapped rows. It may be helpful to mark where your row has begun, but if you look at the top of your knitter, you should be able to tell if you just completed a beaded row or a looped row. Once you get going, your necklace should proceed fairly quickly. Continue to pull the beaded necklace down through the center of the knitter. If you're attaching a pendant or tassel to your necklace, the weight will pull the necklace down a bit. Gauge the length you want your necklace to be by pulling down slightly and holding it up to see how long it is. Once you've reached the desired length, work 2 to 3 unbeaded rows, looping each row as at the start. Now this is how you can finish the end of the necklace. Cut a long tail and let any leftover beads slide off the thread back into the bowl and set the spool aside. Loop the thread around the pin as before, but then pull the thread in through the loop on the pin and slide the loop off the pin. Repeat on all 4 pins. Pull the thread end tight and pull the necklace out through the bottom of the French knitter. Dab some glue into the center of your crimp and place the ends of the necklace inside the crimp. Use your needle nose pliers to squeeze down first one side, then the other of the crimp, securing the necklace ends inside. Once the glue has dried, you can cut away the remaining thread tails. Now I'm going to show you how to add on the tassel. If you choose not to add a tassel, you can either add a clasp to the crimped ends, or you can simply leave a tail of thread to tie the necklace at the back of your neck. So that's all there is to it. There's so many great projects you can make with a French knitter, and this is just one of them. So have fun and experiment. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you like this video, and subscribe for more great tutorials. Or you can leave a comment below and let us know what you'd like to see next. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all next time.